session with regard to frequent item set generation. So before we move into that, I think I just want to say, what are the things that we have learned in the previous sessions. Okay, we saw about the basics with regard to association analysis. In that association analysis, what are the various terminologies? The terminologies with regard to what is a support level, what is a confidence level, and how do you figure out a confidence level, how do you figure out a support level, everything. This is a classic example we took. This is an example called market basket analysis, right? In this example, we took this figure out with regard to bread item, everything, and we figure out what is known as the values of support and everything. Okay, support, confidence, everything. How did we figure out this? S is equal to zero point 0.4. We found out using a very simple technique of what is the values with regard to finding out the value where milk, diaper, and beer are coming together. What are the values do we have? We have two values. What are the two values? The two values, number one, starting with regard to milk, diaper, and beer. Where are the values we have? We have the values here: milk, diaper, beer, number one, and of course, milk, diaper, beer, two. There are two transactions which have all the three, right? Divided by the total number of transactions. What is the total number of transactions? 5. So 2 divided by 5 makes it what? 2 divided by 5 is nothing but equal to 0 0.4 or 40%. That was the support level. And the next was with regard to confidence level. What is the confidence level? Where and all you have milk and diaper, there and all you should have beer. Okay. What are the number of things that you have like that? You have it in two places already. Okay. You have it in two places. So before we move into and sort of look into this, what are the, just a recap of how do you think the support is done? I told you yesterday very clearly that the confidence is both X and Y. Okay. You need to figure out both X and Y to, one second, yeah, to find what is a way of finding out the confidence level. Okay, so if you want to write that, you can write it like this: if there is X, you need to even have Y. Okay, you need to even have Y. So in this example, the example of what you see right here, it clearly says that wherever you have milk and diaper. So what are the places do we have that milk and diaper? Okay, you can see there are three places that you have both milk and diaper coming through. What are the three places? The three places being, you can see very clearly. I'm going to sort of highlight them. So please look into this: milk and diaper. Number one, you have milk and diaper. Number two, and of course milk and diaper. Number three. So there are three places where they're sort of coming through. But that is with regard to the denominator. Okay, these are the three things. So you can see this, these are the denominator values. So I got the denominator values. What are the denominator values? The X value. What is X? The milk and the diaper one, right? So these denominator I got, but I need to have the numerator also. Now what is the meaning of numerator? Wherever you have X, there you should have the Y, which basically means you need to have milk, diaper, and of course implies to what is the thing that we are studying about, the beer. These three things should be there. What are the places where we have such things? All the three should be there. Okay. So if I sort of change that, you can have it in this place. You can see very clearly there's a beer coming through right here. Okay. And of course, there's one more place called here. Now people may be thinking, what about here? There's no beer. So of course there's no beer. Okay, so milk, diaper, beer, two places it is coming out of three places. So when I write that, okay, when I sort of write that, so what is the value that you're going to get? The value that you're going to get will obviously be like this. There are two places where both, milk and diaper implies to beer is coming through, divided by the total number of places, which is nothing but 3. 2 by 3 is nothing but 0.666, or you can somewhat write it as 0.67. Which is same thing with regard to, and what do you call all these things? We call all these things as confidence level. Okay, what is the meaning of it, or what is the literal way of talking about it? We have the confidence that the person who's buying milk and diaper, there is a very good chance, or there's a very good probability of 0.67 or 67% that is even going to buy the beer. Okay, this is what is known as the confidence level, or this is what is known as a confidence way of talking about X implies to Y and also coming through right here. Okay, so support, confidence, both are known for you. Okay, now moving ahead, what are the things to be kept in mind? Okay, what are the ways of going forward with regard to it? Okay, now I've taken the same old example and we have figured out the confidence level and the support level for various instances, for various examples. If you take milk and beer with regard to diaper, you get 0.4 and 1. The confidence level is coming as 1. Where do you think the confidence level will be 1? When the number of transactions, okay, and the numerator, when the numerator and the denominator are becoming same, it becomes easy. Okay, so the next part is with regard to figuring out a frequent item set generation and all. Before that, I'd like to say a few things. First and foremost, what is association mining? It searches for a frequent items in a data set. Okay, in frequent mining or frequent item set mining, usually what we do, we figure out the interesting associations and the correlations between the item sets in transactional or relational databases, generally transactional databases. Okay, so what is a way of talking about it? It will be showing you the items that will appear together, okay, that will be appearing together in a transaction or a relation. So what is the need for it? Okay, people may be asking, why do you need it? So this is needed, okay, for frequent items generation, or figuring out frequent mining or frequent item set mining. Both are all are same terminologies. Okay, frequent item set mining is a generation of association rules from a transactional data set. Okay, fine. So what does it do? It will be giving you what is known as the way a person is transaction thing. What are the terminologies that you have? You have a support, okay, you have a confidence, and of course, the next thing, the support count, the maximal int item set, the closed item set, all these things comes into picture. So we are going to first sort of learn what are those various terminologies in very simple terms again, before we move into a bigger aspect, which is we are going to take one example and then we are going to run through of what it is done, how it is done. Okay, so let's take one few things. Okay, what are the various ways of doing it? What are support? First one is with regard to support, right? So we are going to write that support thing once again in very simple terminologies again. So you would have seen the mathematical terminologies, everything. Again, now I'm going to write it in the very simple term. So what is it? The first one is with regard to support. How do you write support? It is the measure of interestingness or a measure of how interest a person is about a particular product. This tells about what the usefulness and the certainty of the rules. Okay, so what is the way of doing it? The way of doing it is very simple way. You can write it like this. Okay, what is the number of frequently brought items divided by the total number of transactions? Okay, this will be giving you the support or the support count, everything. Okay, so this is very important for you to be kept in mind. Items, then of course confidence you already saw just now. Okay, and what are the other things that you have? The other things is nothing but what is maximum number of items, all those things and all. So for all these things we are going to figure out, okay, we are going to take one example of course, and we are going to figure out, okay, how this is all done. Okay, so today's class is all only about that, how we are going to take one example and you are going to figure out what it is. But before that, you need to know what and all things that to be learned. Okay, so what is it? Mining association rules, you have two-step approach, two steps, two very important steps. The first one is called as frequent item set generation. What is it? We are going to generate all the item sets whose support is greater than the minimum support level. Then the second one is with regard to rule generation. We are going to generate high confidence rules from each frequent item set, where each rule is a binary partitioner frequent item set. You don't worry. Rule generation, you don't worry as of now. Don't even worry. We are only worried about frequent item set generation because that is what we have been learning from past two sessions. Okay, so frequent item set generation is still computationally very much expensive. When people say like that, it simply means that To do it computationally, manually, it is very, very tough. Okay, so let's go there and check this. What are the things that you have? Now you see this diagram, this is called a lattice. What is a lattice? Anything that is a diamond shaped structure is called as a lattice. Even in model 1, in model 2 also you would have come across a lattice structure. So people may be thinking, what is this? You know, it is very tough to understand. No, it's not tough to understand. If I take 5 items A, B, C, D, E, okay, this is what I'm going to get. If I take individually A, B, C, D, E, this is what I'm going to get. I'm talking about this layer. Okay. If I take what is known as 2 layer or 2 things together like this, this is with regard to 1, right? If I take it 2 things together means 2 items together. This is what I'm going to get: AB, AC, AD, AE, BC, BD, BE, CD, CE, D. Okay. If I take 2 items together, then if I take 3 items together, this is what I'm going to get: ABC, ABD, ABE, CACD, ACE, ADE, BCD, BCE, BDE, and CCD. If I take 4 items together, this is what I get. If I get all 5 items together, of course, there's only one place, there's only one chance. This is what I get: A, B, C, D, E. Okay. If I don't take anything, this is what I get. So if there are k items, got to be careful here. If there are k items, what is the possibility? I can have 2 to the power of k minus 1 frequent item set that are possible. Okay. How many items are here? There are basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5. So how many I can have? 2 to the power of 5 minus 1. What is 2 to the power of 5? Probably 32 minus 1. So 31. So I can have 31 possibilities of having so. So you can easily check through right here. Okay. What is the weight? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 right here. And what is the weight number value you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 here. So can write that now. Okay. I can easily write that like this. First one, I took it as 5. Okay. The second one, how many did I get? 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 in the second instance. If I take 2, if I take only 1 instances, if I take 2 instances, then I will go and check here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, when I take 3 instances, it is coming through as again 10. When I take 3 items, this you can take it as the number of items. Okay, this is the total number of item sets you get. Okay, then I go for the next one. Where's the next one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this comes up to around 5. When I take 4 items together. Okay, then again one more. What is the next thing? You have this one. There's only one, so I'll write that only one. If I take all 5 items together. Okay, if I take all 5 items together, this is what I get. Now I need to figure out what is the count I get, right? Check whether what is the count I'm getting. The count I'm getting, 1 second, I'll just move the screen. Yeah. Now, if I check the count of it, what is the number of counts I'm getting? The number of counts you can see very clearly, I'm getting equal to 10, 15, so 25, 30, 31. I'm getting 31. Or can I write this entire thing in a way like this? 2 to the power of k minus 1. What is k representing? K will be representing the number of items. Now check whether that is coming through correctly or not. Okay, whether that is coming correctly or not. Okay, what is k is nothing but the number of items. So what is k? K is equal to 5. So what is the value that you are supposed to get here? 2 to the power of k minus 1, which basically means 2 to the power of 5 minus 1, which is very much equal to 31, which you clearly got it right here. Okay, this is something that you need to understand. Okay, easily you can sort of understand right from this diagram. Okay, frequent item set generation, you clearly got 2 to the power of k minus 1 possible frequent item sets that are possible. Okay, easily you got through like this. And you can clearly see what is the number of varying it is. If you take only one item, you are getting the number as 5. If you take only 2, it is getting 10. 3 again 10. Okay, then you get 4, you get again 5. So you can see when you take 1 and when you take 4 items together, you're getting 5 and 5, same. You get 2 and 3, you get 10 and 10. You get all the 5 items together, you get only 1. So totally you come up to around 31. Okay, now our next job to figure out the frequent item sets in a different way. What different way? We are going to take transactions. Okay, so put that diagram right here. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah. So what we have done now is I have taken, I hope it's visible. Yeah. So 1 second, I'll just clear it off. No, it's not coming. Make sure that the diagram is coming through. So 1 second, I'll just make it work. I hope it's not working. If not working, also we'll take it. If the diagram is not visible, we'll at least write it and then do it. Okay, so it's not a problem. Yeah, hopefully it's working. Yeah, fine. Anyway, we're going to take the transaction ID itself if it's not working. So we are going to take one transaction IDs. Okay, transaction and the transactions of it, all it. Okay, so we are first, obviously you need to have transaction IDs. Okay, the next one is what are the various transactions. So what I call them as items. So total how many items are there? They are basically you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 items. How do you name it? I name it like this: A, B, C, D. I'm going to name it as A, B, C, D. Then the transaction IDs, I'm going to name it as like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now the transaction IDs are all done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to write the items for it. What are the items you have? You got the items, how they are purchased. They are purchased like this. First, in the first transaction, you got A, C, and D. In the second transaction, you got B, C, and D. In the third transaction, is buying everything. A, B, C, D. All 4 items is buying. In the fourth transaction, is buying only B and D. Okay. In the fifth transaction, is buying again A, B, C, D. You can make out from this that this guy in the third and the fifth transaction is buying all the items A, B, C, D. Okay. And in the first transaction, only A, C, D. Second transaction, B, C, D. So this is something that you need to keep in mind. Total number of transactions, 4. What are the 4? A, B, C, D. Sorry, total number of items are A, B, C, D. Total number of transactions, 5. Now the most important part. What is the most important part? First thing is we are going to figure out. See, I told you very clearly, manually doing it is very tough. So I need to prove that. How to, manually doing it is becoming very tough and all. So I'll do it manually first. How much time it takes? Probably 10 minutes, but that's all fine. Okay, that's all fine. I am going to do it manually. First thing is, what is the number of places? Okay, so I'm going to figure out the frequency of it. Okay, what is the number of places where I'm going to take only one item at a time? Okay, frequency of just one item. So what is it? I'm going to figure out with regard to each and one of it. I'm going to take it with regard to A. What is the number of frequency I have? How do you can sort of figure out? You can just have to check where and all I have A. Only A. Where and all I have A. I have it in 1, then 2, then 3. So number of A's that are coming through are the number of A items that are brought in these 5 transactions. Only A is 3. You can see very clearly what are those 3. Okay, you can sort of name it like this. This is the first one. Okay, then one more A comes right here. Then one more A comes right here. One second. Hope it's all visible. Yeah, hopefully you're back. Again, see, there's a poor fluctuation, so can't help it. Okay, so this is the A what I get. Okay, so you got all the A's, and what is the number of values you got? No, equal to 3. So you can see all the A's that are sort of put it in green color. Please zoom in if you can't see. Okay, then next things with regard to B. Okay, the B, what is the number of B's that you have? Okay, the number of B's I have is with regard to 4. Okay, what are the number of B's I have is number equal to 4. You can very clearly check what is number of B's I have. Okay, there's a B, 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 B. Then C, if you take, what is the number of C I have? C is again 4. You can check right from there all 4 C's that you have. Then D, of course, you have again have equal to 5. D is the most frequently brought item. Can you say that? Yes. D is right here, 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 here. It is the most frequently brought item, maybe like a milk. Okay, maybe like a bread, which people buy it every day. Right? They buy it every day, so probably it's coming through everything. And A is the most less frequently brought items. Maybe it's like a coffee powder. Okay, maybe they buy it once in a while. Not every day, but maybe once in a while. Okay, so these things that you got to be keep in mind. Okay, the keep in mind things is what are the frequently brought items. You can easily make out. Okay, 1, 3, 4, 4, 5. Everything is there. Not a problem. Okay, not at all a problem. Now my next job. This is with regard to only one item taken together. Okay, only one item. I don't want only just one item because there are basically 4 items. So now my job now is to make sure that I go for a frequency of what? 2 items together. Okay, 2 items together. If I do that, I think it will be a very long list. So I'm going to write it anyway. Okay, my intention is to make sure that you people get to know that figuring out this manually just for 4 items also, it takes a long time. So if I go it for A and B together, what is the number of items that you have A and B together, where and all, how many times do you have? 2 times. You can feel right here, transaction number 3 and 4, sorry, 5. A and B together, 2. Then the next one, A and C. How many items? Probably 3. Okay, you can see A, C, D, year 1 and A, B, C and A, B, C, D. All 3 things to come in together. Only A and C together. Okay, then A and D. How many number of places that you have? 3 again. B and C. How many number of places that you have? 3. Then again, what is the next thing? B and D. How many number of places that you have? 4. That's a lot of list. Okay. Then the next one, B and D is out. Then C and D. Again 4. Is there any other possibility? People may be thinking, hey, what about D and A? D and A is nothing but A and D. People may be thinking, what about B? B and C is already there. People may be thinking, what about C and D? Already there. What about D and C? C and D, D and C both are same. Okay. Now you can see very clearly that it is nothing but 4. Now, can I say what is the next thing I can say here? I can clearly say that B and D are the most frequently brought together along with C and D. B and D are the most frequently brought items along with C and D. What about the other one? A and B are the most less frequently brought items. A and B, there are only very, very less possibility that they are going to take it together. I like that. Okay, I can see that and I can easily make out. I like that, consequences. This is with regard to 2 items. Do I stop here? No, I don't stop here. I'm going to figure out for 3 items. Okay, so can I make it for 3 items? Okay, one second, I'll just clear this off. Yeah. No, can I go for 3 items? Yes, I can easily go with regard to 3 items. Okay, just 2-3 minutes later, we'll see. Okay, so what is it with regard to 3 items? If I go for 3 items, what's the meaning of 3 items? All A, B, C coming together. How many times it comes? It comes in 2 places. Next, A, B, D. Don't keep on doing the next same combination. Okay, A, B, D together. How many times? 2 times. Then other ones, A, C, D, correct? How many times? 2 times. 2 times or 3 times? 3 times. Then what's the other possibility? B, C, D probably. What is the number of times you have? 3. Okay. Now you see any other combination possible pair. What about BDC? BDC is nothing but BCD. What about ABD? Is already there. What about BACD? It's already there. What about ABD? Everything is there. Only 3 possibility. You people would have studied permutations. Okay, there are 4. Be careful here. There are 4 items. You take 3 things together. What is the number of possibilities that you have? Only 4. 4C3 is nothing but 4. So only you get that 4. Okay. If you take 2 items together, you get 6. Where is those 6? Check here. How I'm combining DMS with DMDW. Okay. This is called being smart. Something which you have learned, and if you take, there are 4, you take only 1 together, you get only 4. What are those 4? This one. Okay, this is called being smart. Now what's the next thing? Next thing is, if you take all 4 things together, okay, if you take all 4 things together, which is nothing but A, B, C, D and all, what is the number of it? You get 2 places. What are the 2 places? The 2 places which you are going to see right now. Okay, see, one second, I'll just, yeah, now the canvas is pretty much clear. Now if I take all the 4 things together, frequency of all 4 items together, okay, so I'm going to write it right here. If when I take all 4 things together like this, frequency of 4 items, what is the frequency? It is nothing but A, B, C, D all together. If I do that, what is number of places that you have? It's nothing but 2. You can see very clearly transaction number 3 and transaction number 5, which clearly says this is what I get. Have I done everything? Yes. Can I write a lattice for it? Very clearly I can write. Okay, very clearly I can write the lattice. This was nothing but, you can see this very clearly. Okay, you go this and go check with this. This lattice structure was nothing but writing the values of what you see right now here. Whatever the values right here, the same thing is written as a lattice structure right here. Okay, it's clearly written like this. And what is the number of items that you have? Okay, what is the number of frequency item data set you got? You have here 4. You have here 6. You have here again 4. You have here just 1. Okay, I'm talking about the combinations, of course. Okay, the combinations, of course. But when you consider the total number of it, you get a lot of things. So what is the thing that you can make out? The thing that you can easily make out is A, B, C, D are frequently brought together twice. If you leave that, if you take only 3 items together, it is nothing but the ACD and the BCD items that are most frequently brought, which is thrice. Like this, using this frequent item set generator, this is manually doing it. Okay, this is all about manually doing it. Using this, we are going to figure out few things. We are going to keep the same old example, and in tomorrow's class probably, okay, we are going to learn how this is all done. Okay, how this is all done, what are the various terminologies that are going to come through here. So this is the most simplest of example we can take, and using this we are going to figure out what is that frequent item set generator, everything on them. There is one algorithm that you are going to get. It's called APROE algorithm. People who are interested, they could always learn. Okay, APROE algorithm that you are going to learn. It's a very important topic that you're going to learn even in machine language also. Okay, machine learning also, not machine language, machine learning also. APROE algorithm. Okay, very important. So in the next tomorrow's class, we're going to learn, because if I start now, it will take another half an hour. That's not a good thing, right? We are not supposed to take more than 30, 40, 30, 35, 40 minutes. So we're going, tomorrow's class, we are going to learn about that. And we are going to see the entire aspect of frequent item set generator and all. Very, very important topic.